Man said TJ doesn't have no answers, fam. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong. Cool pen and man jap stam all day long. Yeti has laughs on every show, man don't know. But Forrest I draw getting picked like a throw. More beers with Yeti and fam down the road. Arsenal leaning to grow, Arteta out is what I'm told. G14 gonna be too cold, man score goals. Wearing the red and white, wash out Nas is gold. Hide your burden soul, time takes a toll. My brethren is fully bold. Cool until I die, write it in stone. Man can't live off one title alone. Bring the CO Cup to London or leave this Lego clone. Back again, pothead always too stone.
That's actually fire, Dal. That is fire, bro. Welcome back, everybody, to TJ Warren TV. Welcome to episode 109 of American Idiots, featuring my guy, number one in your hearts, number one in your head, BBK Sports. Big up, making his debut on the channel. Big up, my guy. How you doing?
Humbled and honored to be here, man. Thank you so much, DJ, for the intro, man. Can't wait to stream with you guys. Big up to you. Thank you very, very much. Big up to Dal, the legend, man. Dal is such a big character, right? I love him.
Okay, what's happening?
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome
you.
to the show. Absolutely. And we're gonna talk everything Arsenal. We're gonna answer questions from the chat for the next hour or so. Welcome back. Smash the likes. International break. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm trading one terrorist for another because I have to watch Pochettino tomorrow. But I'm very glad that we have a break off from Arteta ball because I am completely tired of this guy. And I know we talk over and over and over again, and Acers has talked over and over and over again about, the tactics, about how we're not utilizing the profiles of player that we have. After spending all this money, £1 billion it is now at. And there's only one X factor at this point, and it's Mikel Arteta and how he's setting up the team, in my opinion. But yeah, man, we didn't really get a chance to talk about the Liverpool match, so let's talk about that a little bit. And then I want to talk about how we entered the transfer window and then whatever you guys do. And obviously we'll take questions from the chat. But let's start with you, BBK, man. I don't know where you're at on the entire Arteta out situation, Arteta in, Arteta out, but I think we can all agree, like, the way that he set up that team this weekend was criminal. No?
It was criminal. It was cowardly. It was the most cowardly lineup I've ever seen. Big up to AJ, man. That guy's
Big up AJ. Yeah, he's everywhere, bro. He's everywhere.
Hardest working mod in YouTube. I love him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cowardly. It was him saying. It was some kind of inferiority complex he has to Liverpool. Like, he's telling his players, I don't think we're good enough to beat this bunch, so let's go play for a draw, and then end up losing. And I was just on a podcast on the catch up, and there were way too many people on that panel, way too many people in that chat justifying that madness. This is how conditioned he's got the fan base to believe that. They got to the point now where they're saying, I don't agree with it, but I understand. No. After $1 billion, this was a prime opportunity to go at Liverpool. I actually predicted a 1-0 win. This toxic and negative. How dare you? I did. I predicted a 1-0 win because Liverpool in match week 3 are not the Liverpool that we're going to see when they come to the Emirates. There was no Isak. They're not gelling yet. There was no Frimpong. They had an attacking player at right back. We had Eze, who everyone in the fan base knows is the guy, and he was on the bench at the expense of Mikel Moreno. I was live on stream with Shane Gooner and some other guys when the lineup came out, and all the air just went out the chat. All the air went out the panel. We were like, oh, why? He's done it to us again. We compared it to a game of limbo. It's like no matter how low we set the bar, he just keeps going under it. Seriously. He's digging. Like when he was talking about digging, like we're gonna put the bar on the floor and he's gonna dig a hole and climb underneath it. That's what he's going to do. He's
digging a bar. He's hoping to have that bar in China by the end of the fucking season, bro. Like I didn't even get it. Like I went from a 2-2 to a 1-1 if we were lucky when I saw that. I mean, 3 central defensive mids, 3. No creativity going forward. It was exactly what we thought it was going to be. I think every Arsenal fan that watched that, who's not trying to cope, knew what was going to happen. and we were either going to stink out a draw or we were going to lose off of a freak goal, which obviously Szoboszlai strike, worldy, nobody saving that. I don't care who you are. Like there were people trying to convince me, like fucking Staffy, that fraud, trying to convince me that that any goalkeeper would have saved that. I'm like, no, in off the bar, over the wall. It was, I've not seen, that was a classic free kick. Like you'll be watching that for years. So yeah, but yeah, no, BBK, I completely agree, man. Like we knew what we were in for. Dow, what were your thoughts?
My thoughts were, well, there's Martinelli again.
Halftime, but
yeah, we did. My thoughts were basically like, why is Martinelli in this lineup? Like we've played this guy now for 5 years straight. And yeah, he had one good season, but why is he in the lineup? Oh, I know why. It's because other people in chat said it, and I didn't really put two and together. It's because he was there to defend. He was there to defend. He wasn't even an outlet.
Nope.
Like as much crap as we give him, we know that Odegaard over the last 2 or 3 years plays the ball to the right. Mm-hmm. So that's left Martinelli isolated a lot without getting the ball. He's had 3 or 4 different left backs trying to support him. He's got, he had Havertz behind him with the season before last. So I think Martinelli's decline is pure some of Arteta's fault, right? I know Arteta's not responsible for lifting his head up when he's dribbling and so forth, but other players keep their heads down when they dribble, but he seems to do it noticeably more, right? So once I see Martinelli on there and Eze's sitting on the bench, I knew the game was tapped already. And I think I went for a 2-1. I thought we would actually be able to beat them. When I was in London just 3 weeks ago, I was watching Bournemouth tie it up 2-2.
Yeah.
I was there with Don C. We're like watching it. A few more fans in there that were Liverpool fans at the pub. We're watching and it was 2-2, bro, like against Bournemouth. And the thing is, I don't think this team is used to having a target man like Gyökeres. They don't know what to do with the striker. They're being coached that, you guys. That's not just a natural thing. And that's why we want to see Eze on there, because we know Eze, Gyökeres, and even Madueke or Saka at this point will cook.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And Madueke, I thought, was one of the better players. I thought Calafiore was a good player. I thought Rice was doing his job. But Rice gets gassed, bro. He was done by the 75th.
I thought Rice looked like shit. To be honest, I thought he was one of our worst players. To be clear,
it wasn't the best. And like we said in the halftime show, if you don't hear the announcers or commentators calling his name, you don't know what he's doing.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's fine to get the ball and go up the left side like he did against Madrid, but that was Liverpool. You have to use some creativity and thoughtfulness, but you can't be creative without that type of player in there. And as much as I don't like Odegaard and him as a captain, and I don't like his style of elitist type football, of pretty boy football, he would have served a purpose in there much more than Mikel Moreno, who, by the way, was the third string, midfielder at Sociedad. So I don't get where, like you guys were talking about this bar that's set. I don't think Arteta knows there's a bar, right? I think that was you guys think will agree, that was a purposeful performance at Liverpool. So he wasn't thinking about, I'm going to set the bar high or low. He's thinking about, I'm going to go in there and get a draw because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you start to see that Liverpool are weak in the back a little bit. Konate had a decent game. Of course, Van Dijk's always going to have a solid game. And our striker touched the ball, 11 times? And gets a yellow card? I mean, it's just, I don't know which direction we're going to go with these players, right? And I do think that if Arteta goes, Odegaard is gone as well. And we can just hope that 2027 comes a lot faster, because Saka's contract is up. Unfortunately, Saliba's contract is up, and Arteta's contract is up all at the same time. And there's a part of me that feels that Berta's already looking at options. Yes. I think they're looking at Glasner right now. I truly believe that, because he can get the best out of Eze. He can play attacking football with a lot less talented players than we have, essentially. And I mean, they haven't lost in 14 games, you guys. Palace has not lost in 14 games. Yeah, so, I mean, like AJ says, Luis Enrique, and with the midfield line and the addition of Martinelli, I would have preferred even Trossard in there at this point, because we know Trossard likes to score against Liverpool, even in a Brighton shirt. It's just like he doesn't learn from the past. He doesn't take the issues that he had in the past to improve them for the future. And that's the problem I have. And that's why I think there's no bar, there's no real standard, because he's winging it week in and week out.
Do you know who I want? There's an echo. I don't know. Is that you?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, it was Dal. Sorry, I muted you, Dal. Just unmute yourself when you're ready. Yeah, no. There was you know who I want, and it's not talked about enough. Areola from Bournemouth.
Tactician.
I think that he's a tactician, but he also allows players to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he allows his players to actually perform to their ability and their profile.
Yeah.
You see it. And look, like, he doesn't have the best players in his starting 11, but he makes do without it. Like, remember when he came in and he replaced Gary O'Neill?
Yeah.
He was literally like, Gary O'Neill steadied the ship, but Areola took it to a whole next level.
Yeah.
This is why, like, Luis Enrique, you can talk about Luis Enrique, you can talk about Glasner, you can talk about this, but it's like, anybody that can allow these players to just play. And to Arsenal above all's point, he's perfect. He's spot on right here. He says, guys, none of our guys seem to enjoy playing anymore. You can see it in their faces. Arteta has sucked the joy out of them. Look at Martinelli, even Odegaard. Rice is going the same way. Yeah, because they are told to fill a role that does not allow for any creativity. Like, you don't have creativity on that pitch until the 80th minute. You bring on Eze. He looked like the best player on the pitch, probably because he hasn't gotten it trained out of him yet. Like, it was absolutely insane how much space he was creating on the left there, and I cannot wait to see him. Hopefully he doesn't get it trained out of him before we have to go up against Nottingham Forest. But this is what I'm talking about: is you need a coach that will allow the players to play. Like, look at Jack Grealish, and I'll hand it over to BBK after this. Look at Jack Grealish at Everton, cooking. When he was at Man City, he was not allowed any freedom whatsoever to play to his Aston Villa rate. You know what I mean? That's what I think we need out of these players, and that's why I think, like, free Bukayo Saka up to do what he can do, free Odegaard to do what he can do, because I think Odegaard is a good midfielder. He just gets instructed to do these things because Arteta thinks he's playing 4D chess. I don't know. I completely agree with the chat when they say, like, the players don't look like they're enjoying it, and neither are we as fans. I have to watch ISIS ball every week. I couldn't believe it. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, BBK, what do you think about that? Is Arteta losing the players?
Of course, there is no way these players enjoy playing this way. Like, players fall in love with players, young kids fall in love with football, play with the football at their feet. No one says, I want to go play football and play without the ball. No one. And it's a very dangerous game to play, because the next step of players that enjoying their football, the next step is downing tools. And then once they don't down tools, we could end up in a situation where we lose a whole series of games. But I can't think of too many managers that I would think that would go to Anfield and be that cowardly. I could go out on a limb and say all the other 19 managers will not go to Anfield and leave their best creative player on the bench. No. And the thing is, it's not like we this idea that we talk about Arteta and that he can't break down a low block. Liverpool did everything but play a low block. There were spaces.
Yeah.
They could have been got at. But we kept Liverpool's attack quiet because they started all their big guns. But we kept our own attack quiet by leaving our best attackers on the bench. Like, who does this? Is what 15.6 million pounds a year gets you. Mikel Merino in the 10 in the creative space. It's absolutely brother. So the thing that you talk about Jack Grealish, that when he went to Man City and had the flair coached out of him, they were winning, so it was okay. Now he's back to Everton playing his football, and he's enjoying football again. Remember Phil Foden before? Phil Foden was PFA Player of the Year. That kid had flair, he had tech, he had all this stuff that Leroy Sané had before Pep binned him off to Bayern Munich. But now Foden is a shell of himself because he's not. Remember the conversation? Saka, Foden, and Palmer. No one talks about Foden in that space anymore because Pep has coached the player out of him. And Arteta is doing this. Like Shane Gooner has said it. Are we sure we're getting the Crystal Palace Eze, or we're going to get the Eze that Arteta turns into a robot? Because there was no excuse or no reason for him to start him. He is fit. It's Premier League proven. He's 27 years old. He's not 19. Talking about you can't debut him at Anfield. Why the hell not? Why not?
Yeah, and he has 2 trophies in his back pocket over the last 4 months.
Well, no, and here's the thing is I understand why he didn't start as he's been what 3 or 4 training sessions at that point.
I don't.
Like I get it. No, hold on. I get it from a betting into the team standpoint. But when you see that they are there to be gotten at, the fact that he was not subbed on at halftime, when you saw that they were there to be gotten at, is inexcusable to me.
Mhm.
It's absolutely inexcusable. And that just shows that you're hanging on and you're being stubborn and you're not going with the phases of the game. And that was the most frustrating part to me. And then, we only started subbing on players when it looked like it was going the other way.
Mhm.
And then 82nd minute, done. It's over.
His plan was the shithouser 0-0 and throw Eze on in the 70th minute and try to get a 1-0 like that. And I really think he was playing for a draw. And here's why I think he was really playing for a draw. He lost one of his substitution windows with the Saliba injury, right, in the 3rd minute of the game. Mm-hmm. So now you can only stop the game 2 more times. And when halftime came and he didn't take advantage of the substitution window to keep his other 2 substitution windows, I was like, okay, now he's playing for a draw because now you can only stop the game twice because you didn't use your halftime subs. And Eze would have been perfect to come on. Then you leave yourself the opportunity to make 2 more subs or 2 other substitution windows to make any tactical adjustment in case the Eze sub didn't go according to plan. But when he came out with the same 11 that had him 0-0 at halftime, I'm like, okay, he's playing for a draw. And when you play for a draw, this is what happens. You lose.
Yep.
Yeah. No, 100%. And Sean is spot on here. He's like, we're seeing the end of the systems manager era now. Pep will always be one of the best, but player creativity and entertaining attacking football are what fans want to see. Spot fucking on here. And I will tell you what, players are going to keep getting better and better and better and better and better. Eventually we will hit an era where the creativity comes back and we'll beat the system. Yeah. The system is some of the most unattractive football. And this is why I can't stand watching Pep sometimes, especially now. Is that
Ronaldinho, you remember? The most scary player we have ever seen. As soon as Pep took over Barcelona, he was gone. That's no coincidence. Like he doesn't like this.
Yeah.
True.
No, and this is why I can't stand Pep Guardiola. And when people say, like, I understand when people say Pep ruined football. Like, I completely get it. Because you see how his system can go out there. It's pragmatic, and he knows he can win with a certain group of players. Arteta's trying to do the same thing, and he's doing that, but he's only doing that on the defensive side of the football. He's not really doing anything offensively, creating anything in a system offensively that's exciting or can generate a bunch of goals. But he can sure prevent them. When was the last time we lost by more than 3? When was the last time we conceded more than 3?
Oh, 2 seasons ago against City.
Yep. Correct.
And remember, City were playing a long ball to Haaland his first season there when they won the quadruple. They weren't keeping it on the carpet, passing it around like they're trying to do now. Because if you do that, that's how you get found out, right? Yeah. If you're not creating triangles and passing and moving, you're stagnant. Yep. And that's what happened to City against Bournemouth the other day, right? When they were up 1-0 and lost 2-1. Because they got stagnated play. They stopped playing the overhead ball to Haaland to run onto. Instead, they were trying to pass it to him while he's in the box. But already that time, Bournemouth's in the low block. And like you said, that manager, even though he's kind of 3rd or 4th down my list, is very good. So these managers for these lesser teams, so to speak, are actually very good tacticians and let the players express themselves. And so, like, I just think that, when he's speaking of Pep again, has diverted the style, right, from the long ball to Haaland, which got him 50+ goals, I think. And then the next season, it all comes falling down when you try and play pass and move. So, and that's easy for teams to figure out. But what I really think about, like we were talking about with Eze, is that I think he's ready to play. Mm-hmm. I think he is 100% ready to play, and it's a big mistake on Arteta's part not to play him in the 10 or the left. He was open for 2 positions. How the fuck does Moreno get in that side over Eze? It makes no sense. And like you said, TJ, it's not like he's 17 years old. This guy's 27 years old. He's the same age as Gyökeres, right? So I just don't know where Arteta can't make this connection, right? It's not.
For you
guys.
Yeah,
BBK, shoot.
If you don't mind. against Leeds when Odegaard got hurt in the 37th minute and he went straight to Ethan. Do you guys think if that was the 73rd minute that he goes to Moreno instead of Ethan and brings in Moreno and show up and see up the game? If it was later in the game
during Leeds,
Mhm.
the Leeds match,
Yeah.
Maybe no, probably not. Just because we had a stranglehold on the game at that point. Like you might as well throw an Ethan or a Dowman or somebody else out there.
It was 1-0 when Odegaard got off. So if it was
when Odegaard went off, I mean that's just a difference in competition. We were playing a bunch of the NPCs when we were playing Leeds. This is why I didn't get out over my skis when we were talking about the Leeds 5-0. Like, yeah, that's what. Thank you for doing what I expected you to do.
Right.
Like that. And everybody just started. Everybody started in on Gyökeres and how good everybody thinks he is. Oh, we got 2 goals, yeah, against a bunch of NPCs. And stop me if you've heard this before, Chad. I know I've been on here on my solo streams yelling about this, but this is why this manager is really going. I don't trust this manager because we could talk about Eze all you want, but he is not going to play Gyökeres the way Gyökeres needs to be played.
Right.
And we are going to have a goal scorer that could probably put in 20 in the league, but instead he's going to put in like 10 or 15.
Yeah.
Because and that'll be it'll essentially be a flat track bully. Like this is what I'm afraid of. Against the Leeds, against the Burnleys, against the fucking, against who am I missing? Sunderland. West Ham, Wolverhampton, like these teams he is going to absolutely crush just because they're shit. But anybody that can play a low block, anybody that can take away service from the midfield, man, it really worries me. It really worries me.
We need
to crush those teams, bro. That's the thing.
If we can't beat Forest, it's cooked already.
Right. If we're not beating West Ham, Forest, I mean, no offense, Wolverhampton, etc., then that to me is the real indicator. Like, okay, Liverpool, 3rd game of the season, we don't have to go back to Anfield at all this season. I mean, that's kind of a plus, unless it's a cup game. So there is that plus to it. I mean, we still should have gotten at least a point, right? A draw at minimum, for sure. But I do think that when we do play these teams that are down, 14th, 15th, 16th, etc., that we will be hopefully crushing them 3 or 4-0. But if we don't, that's when the rubber really hits the road, because now we're drawing against Liverpool, we're drawing against West Ham, and we're drawing against Wolverhampton. Because if we turn those draws, at least half those draws into wins, we would have won the league last season, essentially, or come closer to Liverpool by a point or two. So I think we have the power to crush those teams, but we are going to struggle against the Liverpool cities, the Newcastles, United, Chelsea. It's the same kind of shit, right? We barely scraped by United, we smashed Leeds. So if we smash a lot of those, 12th place down teams, it'll be a decent run. But if we start drawing or losing to those teams, that to me is when the shit really hits the fan. Because as much as I'm disappointed in Liverpool, I can accept a non-result there because it's never really happened.
No, I can't accept it. Here's why I can't accept it. This team,
like the performance.
This team that he had, he has gone to Anfield with teams that was less equipped than this one and not lost.
That's true too.
Yeah,
he has gone to Anfield for the past season, hasn't lost when he didn't have a striker, didn't have a number 10 like a Eze. So you get in 2025, you give him a better team earlier on in the season when Liverpool don't have a right back and they're not gelling yet, and he goes there with a better team, with a gunman, with a creative 10, with the best defense in Europe, and still can't win. This was the goodest chance as any. This was the first big test. I expected us to beat Man United. They're shit. But the first big test that he got, and he's failed. And he had the boys out there punching with one hand behind their back. He didn't set them up for success. That was on him. I cannot blame Gyökeres when he has no one he has 3 DMs behind him. And he has a winger that doesn't look up in the 9th minute. It's a 4-on-4. All Martinelli has to do is look up. Even on him at the way, he's waving him on like now, and he doesn't look up, and then Konate closes off the lane.
Yeah. I just think that our biggest stumble before was drawing to West Ham, losing to Southampton, or losing to West Ham. Remember, right?
Mhm.
So I don't trust this manager to like crush those teams, but that's what we have to do, because it was before the conversation was those teams were always our bogey teams, right? But there's no more instances of that. We have a team that can absolutely pound those teams into the dirt if we really wanted to. So to me, the more of the gauge is how we do against those lesser teams. As much as Liverpool, like always says, we're there for the taking, I believe that. And that's a failure on his part. But do I expect to go to Anfield and get 3 points? No, I just don't. I picked a 2-1, but I thought at least he would play somewhat of a normal team. But my expectation of following this club almost 30 years, I don't have I want to go there and win, but I'm also a realist, knowing that, number one, they're the defending champions. Number two, they've won the Champions League within the last, 5-6 years. And number three, we never really performed there anyway, regardless of the lineup. And I'm not making excuses for him. What I'm saying is that if this is literally one of our only losses, we will compete, right? Because it's the West Hams, the Wolves, the Evertons that end up kicking us in the ass later on, right? By the 1-1s, the 2-1s, or we lose by 1-0 up at the new Toffees, whatever the stadium is, or Molineux, right? So I'm just sort of we still got a lot of football to play, even though I think we will drop points against those less teams, and that to me is the nail in the coffin for him.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna be sat here watching every fucking game I can, and supporting the boys. But look, like when you see a Liverpool team after the last minute wins they had to pull out against Bournemouth and who else was it?
Newcastle.
And Newcastle, and they couldn't beat and they let a 10-man Newcastle score twice on them. So
Right.
I don't give a shit where you're playing. They are there to be gotten at.
Yes.
True.
And I get it. Going into Anfield, we haven't won there in 13 years in the league. It's been a long time. I get it. But this team and this manager have gone into Anfield and held leads for a long amount of time. Why can we not do it now? Especially after all the money, after all the time, after all the bullshit, the hype. We go in there and we play like that. We set up like that. I'll never understand it, man. I literally will never understand it. And I know people are probably on TJ, you complain a lot. Yeah, it's because I had to go in and watch. I had to go watch ISIS football against the Liverpool team that I know we could have beaten.
Could have beaten, facts.
We could have beaten them. Look, I understand them being the champs. I get that. But big up Sod. Big up Sod, my G. Big up. And thanks. Big up Sod for the raid as well. If you're coming over here from Sod's channel, number one, smash the like. Number two, subscribe to BBK Sports. His link is in the title. He's an absolute G. And then, of course, hang out with us. Comment in the chat. Do all that shit. How you doing, Sod?
Alhamdulillah, bro. You know what I mean? I can't complain, bro. Do you know what I mean? I just came from a freaking war zone. I apologize for being 28 minutes late. It's completely unprofessional of me. I'm a fraud of the highest order.
Well, don't say that on this channel because people watch this channel. People watch this channel and they'll clip you. Certain people. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to protect you.
Oh wow! Really? Wow!
I would never call you a fraud, Sod, but god damn it, there are people that would.
Let me watch what I'm gonna say, but listen. Big up to you guys. Big up to BBK, of course, my brother. Big up, man. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man. Listen, let's talk about the terrorista football that we witnessed, bro. Let's chat about it.
No, give us your lowdown, because I know you and I have been going through the gauntlet of panels, having to just get absolutely dressed down for how this manager that we don't rate set up. I mean, how are you feeling about it almost a week removed?
Yeah, I'm still pissed off, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if you play the 3 DMs, okay, you had control of the game, yeah? Let's just give you your plaudits there. Okay, you controlled the game. The plan worked. You've outmuscled their midfield. You've taken control of the game for the first half. Second half, You wanted to go into that with confidence. You were going to go in there with confidence. That's the time to bring on a player for me, a creative player, or maybe even 2 creative players. Martinez stinking out the gaff. So is when Marino needed to come out because I think he was behind the pace a little bit. He was off the pace. He was a bit slow when it comes to pressing and chasing the ball. So for me, I personally think you have to bring on creative players. What does Arteta do? Wait until the 70th minute to make substitutions. The 70th minute, bro. I think if my nan is in charge on that game, we win that game. Because she's making a change at half time. Like, I'm sorry, but there's no way that you can't make a change at half time to bring on Eze or bring on a Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard looked fine, by the way.
It was fine to play.
He didn't look hurt.
Like, I don't understand. Like, what's going on? Like, what is this? Do you know what I mean? So I'm just a bit pissed off because that was like you said, that's a winnable game. Yeah. Liverpool were there for the taking. I've never seen them so weak at home, but we let it get to the end, knowing what Liverpool are on, knowing that they can pull out a goal out of nowhere, because they last season for a lot of the season they were the last minute FC. We're literally getting goals in the last freaking 10 minutes of the games. And we're leaving it until late. Like, bro, it just gets me mad.
At some point, I'm sorry, Sal, for cutting the question, but at some point, Arteta is going to have to use the best defense as a license to go attack teams because you can defend, right? So it's a mentality thing for me with the DMs. Like, brothers, if you take 100 hoodlums and you put them in Beverly Hills, they will make a slum out of it in 24 hours.
Yeah.
But if you take 100 engineers and you put them in a slum, they'll turn that place into a paradise in 5 years. It's in the people. He is cowardly. He does not think he can beat Liverpool. If there is, you tell me a Premier League team that Eberechi Eze doesn't start for.
Exactly.
I don't think there is one.
And you leave him in and he's on Arsenal's bench when we have the best defense. So you put that guy in front of the best defense and the best and with Declan Rice and Zubimendi, and Liverpool are shitting their pants. Because they started all their big guns. And their first touch they had in our boxes when David Raya took the ball straight to Van Dijk.
I didn't even deep this. He had already played Liverpool twice. So why not throw him in the game? I understood that, but then I thought about it. I'm like, well, he just played him in the Community Shield. Like, why not? Why not go against him? Why not put him up there? But no, No, I just didn't understand it. Like, I just didn't understand the lack of it at halftime.
Bro, there were people on Twitter, by the way, like agreeing with it, bro.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Bro, there was people agreeing with it. They were like, you can't start Eze in the middle. How can you throw a player in a new system that he's never played in before? Like, as if this guy has come from Shamrock Rovers and we're putting him down in the Premier League and saying play in the Premier League. Yalla, go.
Right. That's not the case.
The guy was just cooking against, like, he's a seasoned pro in the Premier League, bro. Been playing in the Premier League.
With 2 cups in his pocket, Saad, in the last 4 months. With 2 cups in his pocket in the last 4 months that he was integral in, that he both scored in both games. And, it makes no sense. And the thing is, too, is I was saying this on a stream the other day. I think it was on with the BBK and Abs. How can Sporting Lisbon get 92 goals out of this guy with their midfielder and their manager? But Arteta can't figure it out? I mean, that's the thing I'm thinking of, is we spent $70 million, 65, 70 million on Goicoechea, and he can't figure out how to use the midfield properly to get service to essentially one of the top 3 strikers in the world. I mean, it makes no sense. Like, Sporting Lisbon can figure it out. Sporting Lisbon can go on and win a title. Sporting Lisbon can feed the ball and provide service and combination play to Goicoechea, but Arsenal can't. I mean, that's the thing that gets under my skin the most. Right, is not only as a thing, but the way he's already utilizing Goicoechea as a fucking holding midfielder with the number 14 on. I remember the 13's cursed because Eddie and Kenny has cursed that shirt. And I hope the same thing doesn't happen to Goicoechea. But the thing is, think about it, guys. Like, I believe they won the Portuguese title last season.
They did.
With that midfield of no names, with that defense of no names, and that manager, I can't think of it. I don't even know his name. And
Yeah, well, they fired
Amarim's
Amarim's replacement and then brought in somebody else. I don't remember
who
who it
won
was.
the league for them,
Who
right?
won the league?
Right.
They did end up coming back and winning the league
because they know how to use a striker. They know how to get service to a striker. I was on a show, I think, with you, TJ, saying we should just replace Odegaard with Zubamendi because he can just play a straight ball through. There's no hair flicks. There's no ticky-tacky. I am fuming, Warrior. There's no ticky-tacky. It's like Zubamendi has the ability to get the ball on the ground and play a through pass or some sort of lob pass. We just saw him play some incredible passes yesterday when he was playing for Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Moreno scored with Spain.
Yeah.
Moreno always scores with Spain. He's a country merchant, man. This guy always scores.
He scored a great header.
This guy comes out. This guy comes out and I would have laid a future on that if I had known that they were playing. I wasn't paying that close of attention. But
highlight. But Zubamendi and Moreno looked fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's because they are allowed to play their profile and be a footballer. Like Saad, we were talking. What are your opinions on this? Like, is Arteta putting too much of a system in and restricting these players and their profile and their ability to actually be creative? Is that an opinion that you have, or am I wrong on that?
To be honest, I think it's just the way we've played for ages, where we've played down the channel so much that these players are not used to having a gunman and a striker. So this guy is making runs and they're ignoring him because they go down the channels because that is what they're used to. That is what they've been used to doing for like the last 3 years, because we've always had the on the ball striker, the false nine striker that drops deep and creates space for the wingers to go in. So that's what we've had. So we've never had a striker that's going to stay there on the last man and be making a run to go, waiting for the ball to come in so he can just sprint for the ball and go finish the chance.
Do you think? Let me ask you this, Saad, real quick. Sorry to interrupt. Do you think Gyökeres is fit right now?
Fit?
Yeah, like I mean, obviously he's a big, strong lad, but do you think he's fit? Do you think he's match fit right now?
Yes,
I think he is.
Me too. I'm just curious. Some people have been saying,
I don't think there's any problem with Victor Gyökeres. I think the problem is the players around him which are not passing him the ball. I've seen there's no way that a striker can go with a game without getting touches on the ball. Like, I'm seeing him go through entire first halves and not getting a touch of the ball. How does that work as a striker?
Yeah, I know you men have kicked balls, so you know how frustrating it is with being a striker, making that run every single time and not getting the ball, and still have to maintain your.
By the way, when they're attempting it, by the way, and this is why I think it's also we're still in an adjustment period a little bit. They are 5 yards off.
Yeah, so imagine
that first match, oh my days! We might have gotten the win, but against United, but it was horrible.
Yeah, but imagine, gentlemen, imagine in that first half, is there in those spaces that Martinelli found himself in? Szoboszlai shitting his pants every single time. Szoboszlai was able to step into the midfield. Even Van Dijk was stepping up into the midfield, spraying passes around because they know they had no defensive duties. They knew he was calm back there. And the thing with Arteta that frustrates me the most, that he would take a risk with Saliba's ankle and his welfare and his health. He won't take a risk in the damn football match to try to win it.
True.
He is so risk averse that he is going to cost us. Scared money don't make no money. We know this. He's too scared to try to win the game. He's buying penny stocks. You need to go buy a whole bunch of stocks, bro.
Right.
We're playing a very dangerous game. And if we don't get rid of him while the team is still good, because if this Arsenal job becomes available right now, good managers around Europe are tripping themselves over to get to the best defense, to get to Zubamendi, Declan Rice, Saka, Gyökeres.
The world,
There's gonna be a line of managers like I'll put my hat in the ring.
Wow.
A line of them waiting because this team is way too good to be
way too good
for what. Listen, bro, that is facts. He'll take a risk with somebody's health. He won't take a risk on the pitch to attack. That is one of the lines of 2025, bro.
Yeah, well, no, and he has a laundry list of players that he has just driven into the ground. Obviously the number 5 that we just got rid of, Saka, Odegaard, like the list goes on. Martinelli for a time a few years ago, Gabriel, Saliba goes without saying. Like you could do a starting 11 of players that he's just absolutely played into the ground when they were injured. You could do that. Kai Havertz wasn't fit. He played him.
Yeah, he played him last year against Newcastle. Kai Havertz was rushed back last year.
That's right.
Was running,
and so coincidentally, the 2 players that he rushed back last year are the 2 ones that are hurt now, Saka and Havertz. Like, who knew? Like, seriously, like, who knew?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me, and the fact that the people are still, upholding the cult of personality around him when you look around, and there are managers out there. You cannot tell me that there aren't managers out there. Like Saad, I was talking about. Like. Dow wants Glasner. I want Areola. Like, if you were to bring in somebody else right now, like everybody is saying, "Oh, there are no managers available." Bullshit. No, there are. There are. People would like you just said. People would run it. So who would you want in charge if he were to go?
Is what AJ said correct? Is Luis Enrique out of a contract
next summer?
Big up TK, by the way. Big up TK.
Big up TK.
I don't think we can wait till the summer. If he literally finishes with nothing again, that'll be too late. I think we need changes like now, but I've known that. We've all known that for several years. And we know that's not going to happen. I really think they're going to push this guy to the end of 27, his contract, and then look at the good and bad, and the bad will outweigh the good. I mean, look at the money we've lost in transfers. Look at the opportunities we've lost in performance and on the pitch. And look at some of the stuff he's said in press conferences and so forth. I mean, he thinks the Community Shield is a trophy. So I just want this guy gone.
Imagine this team that we have right now with a new manager bounce.
Yeah.
Imagine this team with a Hansi. Imagine this team with a Hansi Flick, who we could have gotten before he went to Barcelona and started winning titles.
Yeah.
Like, and you could argue like this club is the level of a Barcelona, like in terms of talent that's on the pitch. We are right there. But what did you say? Hold on. Who did you guys predict to win the UCL? I predicted Barcelona because they have fantastic players and they have a fantastic manager that knows how to fucking win. And we could have gotten him. You put Real Madrid?
Yeah, because they were
heritage. Is that why?
Yeah, bro. The thing is, I'll be real. I don't care what happens. Somehow they seem to find a way, bro.
Yeah, they do.
That's the reason why they got like 16 of them, brothers. Like they got 16 of them.
Yeah,
I think it's 16. Is it 16 now?
15,
yeah, it's 15.
I've lost count at how many they've got, bro. They've got, like, have you seen it in the stadium, bro? The amount that, like, in the trophy cabinet, it's just like fucking rows, bro, of Champions League trophies.
Yeah, it's a mad tour. It's a mad tour. You go to that stadium.
Yeah, but I can't lie. I just looked at the contract for Luis Enrique and for Hansi Flick. Both end in 2027. So the thing is, this year Luis Enrique was signed a contract extension. So I don't know if Luis Enrique would leave, but listen, there's still managers out there that you can go and get, and this is the thing. Now there is super pressure. Like for me, I already wanted Arteta out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody on here knows my thoughts. Anyway, I wanted Arteta out. At the end of last season because he beat
the I backed my gaffer right out of Saad, man. He beat the shit out of it.
Sorry, listen, I'll be real, man. I really believed in this guy, bro, and I fought back.
I know.
Because I was fighting you guys on stream for this guy. You did on a couple of occasions, bro. Like I was out here fighting battles for Arteta, but bro, I can't back it if you regress us in a season and blame on injuries when you could have gotten like players in. Like I can't sit there and actually have belief because I've seen multiple games where you've made managerial mistakes. Now you have the players in everybody's eyes. Let's see if you can really play with the big boys. Let's see if you can beat one of the big boys and get to a title. Because not any trophy will do. You have to win one of the big trophies. Champions League or Prem. you gotta put them now. Shut up.
Yeah, but I think we just need to go through the domestics too, Saad, to build that motivation and the actual, actual.
If we don't win one domestic this season, oh my days.
No, wait, that's the point. It's not about Arteta winning it. We have the squad to win it all. Like I've said this to Jez. Him and I both agree this is one of the best squads we've had in the last 10 years on paper. No doubt. I mean, that's Alexis Sanchez, Ozil, Ramsey, Giroud, etc.
Because
right?
we still had fucking Bellerin back there, and you know. Socrates.
Right. Exactly. I mean, all these players that were so mid in the last 10 years, and now we have literally, I believe, one of the best teams in Europe and one of the best teams in the Prem, and he doesn't know how to use the tools he's given. He just does, just like Arsenal Above says, he just has all the tools, but he doesn't know what to do. Because why? He's a fucking rookie manager who's never won anything. He doesn't have the knowledge to go and plan games out in like a Champions League, right? Even though we crushed Madrid, great, but that should be to me should be the standard. I've said it before. We should face every team like we faced Madrid. Go out there for the attack. You've got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
I don't think Enzo Maresca is going to go into Anfield playing scared like that. I don't even Thomas Frank is going to take Tottenham there and play scared like that. The mentality for me is unforgivable what he did. I can't. I'm like, bro, you're telling, and these players are sitting there like, really? Even they must. These footballers, they think to themselves like, bro, really? You're gonna leave Eze on the bench? So when we break up the ball in the midfield, what are we supposed to do with it? Pass it backwards?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
no, that's exactly but you say that in jest, but that's exactly what we fucking did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did.
Well,
you don't see it. Oh, you don't see it. Retain it. Recycle. Back, front, side to side. They were doing the fucking Cupid shuffle out there. I couldn't believe what I was watching. No ideas to move the ball forward until you bring in a player that's been with the club for fucking 10 days.
Yeah, because
he comes in and he looks like the best. When your best offensive player moving forward until the 80th minute or 70th minute is Nani Madueke, another player you've brought in from Chelsea, by the way, who might not have had all of the creativity coached out of him yet. Yeah. You know, and look, like he's out of the levels. Like Kirk has had him on toast for a lot of that match, but he still was at least had ideas.
The intent, he
at least had ideas. And he was trying to take his man on. You didn't see Martinelli doing that.
No, he couldn't, because the thing, like Eze in the midfield, Liverpool have a problem because when Eze drops his shoulder and get by any one of those in the midfield, all of a sudden now Kanate or Van Dijk has a decision to make. Either you cheat off of Gyökeres to come close down the space that Eze just created, or you stay with Gyökeres and then give Eze acres of space to run at your goal. That is their problem. They didn't have to worry about that at all. Not only is Moreno slow as hell, he's up against a Gravenberch that is rapid.
Yeah, he's a beast
without the ball. So it was a suicide mission. He set him up for failure.
They should have brought Eze on the minute Curtis Jones got subbed on. That's what I wanted to see. Curtis Jones was subbed on the 62nd minute or something like that. He should have pointed to Eze right there and said, okay, you get on now. Because the complexity of the game's changed. And Curtis Jones was one of their best players in the second half, which I thought I'd never say in any match whatsoever, right? I don't rate Curtis Jones as far as I can throw him. But you've got to be tactically moving. It's chess. It ain't fucking checkers, Arteta. It's chess, right? Yeah. Curtis Jones comes on, you put Eze in the middle, or you put Eze on the left, and then you say, oh, Curtis Jones comes on. Okay, I'll put Odegaard in right away. Not waiting 5 minutes, not waiting 10 minutes, not waiting 15 minutes, but right away. Sub like for like. Keep it going, but he just failed at that completely.
Yeah, AJ, this is a wild statement. We're not going to lose to Port Vale. This is wild.
Hey,
we're not going to lose to Port Vale.
Grimsby United may have something to say.
Oh, we're not. Yeah, we're not there. We're not there. We're not there. Unfortunately, this manager's good.
By the way, I've seen some poor souls on Twitter actually saying like justice for Man United because Grimsby cheated.
Ineligible player.
Yeah, they're taking the piss. They're taking the piss, bro.
The fact that these men are saying that shit is actually
it's so shameless. But here's the thing, though, Todd, our fans would do the same thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's mind games, but
yeah, it's nuts.
I just got a question. Would you guys take Iraola?
Yes.
I literally said that.
I think he's a progressive manager that plays a progressive style of football, which I think can get a very, very good tune out of this team.
I literally just said that.
Them. I think he could lead us to win a league title.
Did we see any fear in Semenya when he picked up that ball from Traore at Anfield?
Hell no, bro. Nope.
I mean, the best goalkeeper in the world couldn't even move.
In fact, I think I've seen Areola go like that and
yep.
Give him the best defense in the Premier League. You give him Saka, Declan Rice, Zubimendi. You give him Eze and Gyökeres and watch him cook.
I can't lie. Areola is
Eze, Gyökeres, and Saka. That's a FIFA team. That's the point too. It's a FIFA team, bro. Like you can win with that day in and day out. And this manager has no clue what he's freaking doing.
I'm sorry,
no
bro.
clue.
If you keep Salah, Ekitike, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai quiet at Anfield, you cannot lose that game. I'm sorry. There were people who were upset. There were people who captained Mo Salah in the FPL who were pissed the fuck off because they thought he was going to run riot on us. We kept him quiet. All of them are quiet. You cannot lose that game. I'm sorry. This is not to the manager, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, and what's wild is Areola and Xavi Alonso are friends with Arteta. Everybody's telling Arteta how shit his football was. People were saying that that was a crime against football, and I completely agree. It was the first 2 matches against Big 6 clubs this season has been some of the worst football I've ever watched. Some of the most unentertaining, and you know, Saad, I know you're Saad, one of the bigger content creators out here. Having to sit there and watch that and keep your audience engaged and entertained while trying not to fall asleep is probably one of the biggest challenges I have doing
this. First of all, TJ is heavily fraudulent because he's acting like he's not a big creator, bro. This guy is bigger than me, more famous than me.
So yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Say hi to Terry
right now. Let's not get that right now. Come on, man. We're not doing this. I'm not on your level, bro.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
you know
whatever.
You know what I mean? Please, bro.
This guy. He's such a. You know what? No, you know what? No, you are a fraud. You are a fraud. I'm sending that clip to Staffy now. You're welcome.
I just sent it to Staffy, bro. I'm on his hit list already, bro.
No, it's fine.
On to me on Twitter, bro. He's on.
Yeah, shout out to Staffy. Staffy and RSM are coming out to KC for the Premier League Fan Fest thing.
Oh, nice.
They're coming out here. Yeah, they're coming out here again. It's crazy. Dal, when are we gonna link up, bro?
Soon.
Yeah,
soon.
I gotta come out. My wife wants to come out to the PNW, so that's all.
Oh, nice. Yeah, come on out. You got a place to stay?
Come on out, brother.
Yeah.
No hotel. I'm deathly scared of what this manager is going to bring. And those fans who are saying, "Oh, it's just one game." No, it's a style of play. It's a style of play, right? That continues and will continue until he makes the right decisions.
Yeah. And I want to talk about, and I think this is an all right transition because I know we got a limited amount of time here. Berta. How much? I have a question for you because that was one of the best transfer windows I have ever seen us have. One of the most exciting transfer windows we've ever had. It was especially in the Arteta era. I'll go on a limb and say in the last 15 years, probably the best that we have had. That's all Berta, man. That was absolutely insane. And who knew that it was just one guy needed to come in and just say, you know what, you guys want to win? We go out there and we're serious. We get serious about buying players. Don't undercut anybody like we did in that Declan Rice deal when we were taking the piss against with West Ham and offering up 60-70 as our opening offer. That was never going to fucking happen. And then we had to wait for 3 months to get it over the line. The player's head was turned for 6 months and it took us 5 to get it over the line. It was absolutely insane. Anyway, so my question is, guys, how much do you think the Cronkies are listening to Berta at this point versus how much they're trusting Arteta to get the job done? Do you guys kind of understand my question? How much weight do you think Berta has right now? And maybe Taryn, you could start with that one.
I think he has a lot because the Cronkies would look at his CV and just look how much this guy's accomplished in football, and he looks at Arteta as not a novice, but only been managing for 6 years. Berta's been around for a while. Berta was in La Liga competing with them two with a fraction of the resources and beat them to league titles. and some very good Champions League runs. So Bertha knows his stuff. And I think the proof is in the pudding that the signings that Bertha has made goes beyond Arteta for me, because it's clear, both based on the reporting, that it was a Sesko that Arteta wanted. And the Eze signing, I put that 100% down to Bertha, because I don't believe that if Arteta really wanted Eze, he would have been on the plane with us to Singapore. We would have never let it get to the 11th hour where he agreed to terms with Tottenham and have an entire emergency streams everywhere all over YouTube. We were ready for a complete meltdown.
I had a meltdown for sure.
As soon as James Maddison got hurt, I went into panic mode, because I was like, there's a number 10 that got injured and there's a number 10 on the market available. We're still dragging our feet. So I think it's beyond Bertha. Even the Cronkies, I think even the legends of the football club are fed up with Arteta now. That's why Thierry Henry is speaking about the building being tall. That's why Tony Adams is saying you are not going to win with your captain. And then, if they say this about him publicly, the greats talk. Like whenever so privately, they're saying like, bro, this guy's been given a lot of time and he hasn't delivered the goods. And that Uncle Wenger didn't even get this amount of backing. Uncle Wenger gave us 6 FA Cup, 7, and 3 Premier Leagues. He wasn't given this kind of lease. So yeah, it goes beyond Arteta. I think these signings are being made for the foundation that when a new manager comes in, just like Liverpool, Arne Slot, because no one can convince me that Slot is a better manager than Klopp. Klopp's voice just got stale. The only thing that changed at Liverpool last year was the voice. So they're looking beyond him. So the foundation is set. So when a new manager comes in, should this go pear-shaped quickly, they have one of the best creative 10s. You have a gunman, and you have one of the best defenses in the league, and you can just close the gap.
Yeah, what do you think, son?
Listen, it's pretty simple. Bertha is, from what we've heard, he's impressed everybody at the club. He's even caught officials from, if you believe what's being said from, the hand of Arsenal, all of this kind of stuff. Like, this guy's caught other officials and other executive directors and football directors or directors of football from other clubs by surprise. Like even Barcelona were like, oh, because the way he moves, the way he's calculated with every decision that he makes. Bertha's at my club now, yeah. Don Bertha is at my club, and it's just as simple, yeah. He is here. I put full trust in him. The fact that he was able to deliver this window, I know for a fact he's going to make the right decision. So if the Cronkies are looking to put their trust in Arteta, I'm pretty sure that Bertha is going to have something to say to that, because there's no way that that Bertha can sit there in a room and say, I've brought you all of these attacking players and the striker's not getting passed to, the brand new 10/left winger that I've bought for you doesn't come on until the 70th minute. You're not playing them in a way where you can get the best out of them, and you're playing the defensive style of football. Like, that can't run. It can't. So if he can't win the league, if he can't win any trophies, like, brother, something has to give, and this guy has to leave.
Yeah,
it has to happen, bro. And I believe that Bertha's not going to just stand there and just let it happen, in my personal opinion.
Dal, knowing what you know about the Cronkies, how much rope does this manager have, bro? Like, I'm serious, because I want to get everybody's opinion, because like I agree with what Taryn and Sod are saying, that he carries a lot of weight. He has the CV, but he's not in the owner's box at Avalanche and Nuggets games whispering in their ear yet. Like, this is like, I want to see this guy talking to the Cronkies publicly and interacting with them to say, you know what? Yeah, if this is what's happening in front of the cameras, this is also happening behind closed doors, right? Kind of what you said earlier, Taryn, when we were talking about players talking, right? The management needs to show that outside of just the backing and the magic that he used, that he is the director. He has the final say on things like the manager, whereas the Cronkies will actually listen. Like, that's what I need to see, because if we get top 4 and get to a Champions League semifinal again, if this guy still and no trophies, if this guy still has a job, I'm fucking done. I'm done. I gotta cash out. We'll turn TJ Warren TV into like a baseball channel or something. Like, it gotta be done.
He's got that.
Yeah. Like I'm dead serious. I'm joking around, obviously, but I'm also serious. Like this is the guy that you brought in. Like I'm looking at Berta as like an auditor. Like
Yes,
you cheated on your taxes for 6 years now. We're bringing in an auditor. Let's see how bad it is. What skeletons are in your closet? And we have 3 years of skeletons.
Yeah.
So do you think they'll like what will it take? I guess my question to you, man.
It's gonna take. I think at the end of the day, it's gonna take a mutiny from the players. That has led, as you guys know, following football for many years, that has led to many managers getting sacked. Is that the players are just done? They're unmotivated, and they looked unmotivated against Liverpool. But I think right now there's a real confusion in the camp with the players, right? So I think the fallout usually starts with the players, them not performing up to their standards that they can do themselves, not the Arsenal standard, but their own standard, right? So with that said, I think that Berta is opening the eyes more of the Cronkies, who in all reality are new to English football, right? And I still stick by the story that Arteta snaked his way into the job through Josh Kroenke's ignorance of how English football really operates, right? So Arteta kind of held their hand those first couple of seasons, and they were like, all right, you've obviously played in the Prem. You were the cone boy for Pep. You're leaving City, who's won multiple titles over the last years. Yes, we will take you. Because I think with Emery, there was a real communication breakdown. And I'm going to be honest, some of the style of play that Emery was not good. Right?
I don't understand the gassing up of Emery like 7 years.
Yeah, he gassed him up because he had won shit, bro. He'd won the Europa League 3 years in a row with Sevilla and shit like that.
Yeah, not with us though. We looked like shit with him. Like I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But he also unleashed Martinelli.
This revisionist storytelling about Unai Emery at Arsenal is insane.
I said that some of the football was good, some of it was bad. I don't even remember where we finished under him, right? So
we were 12th when he got fired.
Yeah, exactly. So right, and then there's all the top gooners saying we've gone from 8th to 8th to 5th to 2nd, and there's progress. Yes, there's progress in the table, but there wasn't any identifiable progress in the football except for the one season when we were ahead 93% of the time 2 years ago. And even that fell flat. And that to me should have been a sackable offense already. That you literally have the Premier League in your hands. You're ahead in the league for those dates for 93% of the time, and you still can't pull it out. That is sackable. And of course, the transfer money, that's sackable as well. But your question was about Berta. I think Berta's changed a lot of things about the club. I think he's the main one, like Terence said, he's the main reason why we signed Gyökeres, Eze. I don't think those players come to Arsenal without him. Plain and simple. I don't think Gabriel signs a new contract without Berta. This guy, I think, is getting more and more into Kroenke's ear. I think it's slowly happening because they have invested obviously $1 billion, bro. And like someone said in the chat, Berta comes from a banking background, right? He's going to take advantage of all the funds that he can get to make the team better. Something has to change. Just something has to change, and it has to be Arteta. It's not the players, right? The players are just assets. But the manager is the one that should feel the heat for this. And we feel the heat now, yeah.
It's always easier to get rid of a manager than a player.
Sure. We signed 8 players. What are we going to do? Get rid of 7 of them?
They'd never get rid of players. They'd always get rid of the manager. It's always going to happen.
We've already identified the players that need to go. Zinni, Lokonga. And who else is on that list?
He's got some of them.
Zinni's gone. Yeah, Zinni's gone. Lokonga's gone.
That's not Arteta. Zinni's gone on a straight loan, but here's the thing:
if they bring him back, oh my days!
They're not bringing him back. I'm sure they're going to buy him, or he's going to transfer.
No, because it's just a straight loan.
It's a straight loan, so they're not going to buy him. But if they actually,
there's no way he's coming back to Arsenal, bro.
I think he'll get sold next summer. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs to be sold. The amount of bitching that I've seen him do for not getting time in the press is actually embarrassing. Sorry, go ahead.
The only thing I'll say, just to end off my bit, is with Berta, yeah, Edu looked like a colleague to Arteta. Berta looks like an employer.
Yeah.
a supervisor.
He looks like a supervisor. He looks like a boss. He looks like somebody who's like, when you see him in training, he's not smiling. He's straight faced, looking at what's going on. When he's in camera, the only time you see him smile is when we sign a player. The only time you see him smile is when a player's
behind his back.
is when a player's got a pen for the paper and they're signing a new contract. That's the only time you see him smiling. Apart from that, whenever he's taking pictures of him, he doesn't smile because there's nothing to smile until you win.
Right.
Then you can smile. Then you can see him holding trophies and smiling and getting gas.
Right.
Berta's serious and Berta wants to win. So he's not going to come here and just take this bullshit. Let's be real. Do you know what I mean? He's gotten rid of players. He bought in players. At this point, do you know what I mean? He's looking for results himself. Otherwise, he's going to think I'm a failure.
Yep. Big up to you guys, but the pressure is on that Forest game for a good performance. 3 points. We don't need a jammy 1-0, which is exactly what you're going to get because we're playing away in that match. It has to be like a 3-0 complete attacking performance from now on. Bro, okay, look. If West Ham can throw 3 past these guys, one of the worst West Ham teams we've ever seen, especially in the first 2 matches, if we can't get 3, it's cooked. It's cooked. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like,
that Jared Bowen doing things, same things Eze can do. And that's why the Eze signing is so influential. It's so needed. It's just so needed. And for Arteta to not put him on the second Curtis Jones gets on that pitch, he should have put Eze on. I will stand by that forever. And again, it's chess. It ain't checkers, bro. It's not like you can just pick someone out and say, "Oh, go perform." It doesn't always work that way, right? But when you have someone like Eze, you can kind of push him out there and say, "Go do your thing, express yourself, but keep control of the ball. Look for the open passes." I mean, I don't know what he's telling them. When they stand on the sideline and they're whispering in their ear. He's like pointing and he's looking at the pitch. He's looking back at the player. Like, what is he saying to this guy? I just don't get what he's telling them before they make that step out onto the pitch. Because to me, that's a big thing, right? You're actually telling the player what you want him to do. So he's obviously telling them, get wide, hold the ball. If you get snagged, just pass it back. Or just pass it sideways.
It's about being pragmatic and controlling the ball and controlling the game. Like you can there are so many times where teams control the game and they lose because they have no attacking threat, they have no edge. Like that's exactly where we are. That's the hell that we're in. And Forest. Sorry, Forest is at home. You're right, AJ. And coincidentally, the last time Forest came to the Emirates was the last time I saw us play good football. That 3-0.
That was crazy.
That 3-0 was 2022-23 Arteta ball. Like that was what
that day, man.
Yeah. He was. And what now? I remember us doing a match review on that doubt, and we both gave Arteta a 10. Because look, I'm not shitting on this guy because I like doing it. I'm doing it because I like the club, and the guy is just underperforming time in, time out. Going into Anfield, parking the bus. It's insane to me. It's insane. When does it end?
Look at the run we went on in January to April of 2024 when we scored 31 goals and conceded 4. Where's that? Why can't he take that formula and implement that in every single match? That's what I've been saying about the Madrid game. Why aren't we playing like that? But why is the play style so contrasting from one game to another? It's like, oh, it's Liverpool at home. Oh, we know they're good. Let's just sit back. But we go against Madrid, and he goes, oh, go all out attack. It makes no sense, bro. Like, you would think that you'd want to retain the ball against Madrid, be defensively against Madrid. But no, we had brilliant Declan Rice, who was in the top form of his life. Regardless of the 2 kicks, he was running the ball rapidly up the left side. And we didn't see any of that. Why the diversion? That's why I get so upset at too. Why the diversions in style of play from week in and week out? It makes no sense. There's nothing consistent. There's nothing for the players to say, oh, I performed this way last week, so maybe the gaffer wants me to do the same similar things to get us the win. But no, they're sitting there scratching their head trying to figure out what his game plan is. Retain the ball. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? We pass it around sideways and backwards. That's what that means. I mean, I'm still pissed, dude. I'm still so mad. I want to say so much shit, but I've let it out over the
Yeah.
last streams, a week ago. But at this point, I still stand by that if Sporting Lisbon can get this guy to 92 fucking goals in 2 years, and this guy gets 8 or 9 touches at Liverpool, how does that happen?
Yeah. 3 DMs behind him. That's how.
Yeah.
Bad game plan, bad execution, right? I mean, if that Sporting midfield can feed those balls to Gyökeres and participate in the attack, what the fuck are we doing, dude?
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, no doubt, you're spot on, man. Look, and I know we probably have to wrap up now, but look, at the end of the day, like what we were seeing and what we were talking about as a possibility with this manager not playing to the profile of the players and sticking with his system, it's going to expose him. It's not going to expose the players. The players coming in have a CV. The players like Eze have a CV of 2 trophies in 3 months. Players like Gyökeres are also bringing in titles from where he was before, including a scoring title. Like, there's no excuses now. There's no excuses. And with that,
I am going to hang on to the 92. I know you got to go, but I am going to hang on to the 92 Warrior because that's fucking insane. That is an insane goal return. That is nuts. 92 goals in 2 seasons. That's crazy. And we can't get that? No, that's not right. That's just flat out not right.
The way that we're playing, that we're playing right now, he's gonna get 12 goals in the
league. Against Leeds, you saw what you can do if you give him the ball, get the ball to his feet.
Right.
That's what he can do. Just give him the ball.
It's Leeds, but I still think Leeds is. Do we beat Leeds in the last half of last season? No.
I don't know. Like, and this is my problem. This is my problem with this manager. This is my problem with this manager. It's like relegation sides we can beat, Big 6 teams we can beat, middle of the table, Bournemouth, West Ham, fucking Everton. Like, nope, too much to ask. Anyway,
I think we need to win those games. We just need to go win those games, and I think we'll be better. But it's a question of he wants to.
Yeah, well, and it's a question of if and when Liverpool drop points. But anyway, all right, guys, that's the show. I got to get out of here. Big night ahead. So, guys, we will be live on TJ Warren TV tomorrow for more terrorist football. United States versus South Korea.
Oh, God.
Hey, I swear, the battle that TJ's been having with the US national team for years, bro. For years. What was the previous coach called? What's his name again?
Oh, Berhalter.
Hey, listen, I don't even remember that name because I had to stop saying it around Jacob, bro. This guy would go into
hey, well, yeah. No, don't bring Berhalter up around Jacob.
If you say it next to Jacob, Jacob just starts having a fit and starts shaking.
No, this dude's like he loses it. He fucking loses it. But no, Poch, he gets to watch Pochettino, who he still likes, and then he gets to watch Son because we have to play against Youngman's Son tomorrow. So yeah, I'm already predicting a South Korea win, but we'll see. Terrence, shout your channel out, my guy. Thanks for coming on. This will not be the last time either, bro. Like,
yeah, man, I so appreciate you, man. It's at DBK Sports. I'm gonna do a call-in show tomorrow, 4 p.m. UK time, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, man. Big up to you, big up to Dal, big up to the legend that is the most famous YouTuber in the world.
The most famous Arsenal YouTuber. I'm not hearing anything else.
Big up the chat, big up every single time. Yeah, thanks a bunch, DJ, for having me on, man. Matters.
Of course, bro. And then of course, Saad, my guy, Saad's Football Corner, El Ahua. What else? The football terrorists.
Never found.
I know. And I'm not famous. Get out of here, Saad. What do you got coming up, bro?
Yeah, listen. At the moment, I'm doing 2 shows on my stream on my channel at the moment. Guna Lounge on a Monday, and then Kura Pod on a Friday. Tyrone, by the way, I need to speak to you because I want to get you on Monday, 8 o'clock. I want to get you on the Gooner Lounge. Do you know what I mean? Because I need to get you on my channel.
Get
Been a long
him.
time.
I'll add him. I'll add him to the. I'll give him your number so you can get added to the Gooner Lounge chat.
Yeah, please,
It
man.
gets wild. It gets wild though. I'm sorry.
It does. Just prepare yourself because it gets wild.
It gets wild. You think the reaction in the chat is bad? No, just go into that channel for like 2 seconds. That group chat is nuts.
The group chat is nuts. But yeah, no, I definitely need to get you on for Monday. And listen, I just pray that we can win something, bro, because that's all I want, bro. I want the Premier League so I can just dunk on these Liverpool fans. But right now I can't because they're looking like they're gonna win the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? So that's all I really want, bro. That's all I really want. And I hope that this manager can take us there, even though I want him gone. All I wish and I hope and I dream of is him lifting that Premier League trophy with us. That's all I hope, because I don't give a shit if I'm right or I'm wrong. I don't care who does it with us. As long as we're the ones that finish first and we win, I couldn't give a shit who does it. I don't care. I'll be real.
Right, managers come and go.
Exactly. As long as we win a massive trophy, a major, that's all I care about. That is all I care about, bro. So yeah,
pray to the football gods.
Yeah.
Big up to everybody. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm sorry I'm late to all the viewers and to you guys as well. But listen, big up for having me, man. I appreciate it. It's always, man. It's always
absolutely. We'll run it back. Dal, another one in the books, my guy. I hope you have a good weekend. Yep. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we're gonna redirect you guys over to Aaron Talks Arsenal. He's gonna be over there, probably saying what we just said and more, with more colorful language. So go over there, say TJ Warren TV raid, and we are out of here. We'll see you tomorrow for the watch along,
peace, people,
aka the potch along. Goodbye.